When my father passed away, there was something called a Hindu Undivided Family that he had, and he was managing it and filing taxes on it for a long time. But I didn't pay much attention and I closed those accounts. And now I realize that I've made a very big mistake. Folks, welcome to the channel. My name is Niraj and I talk about personal finance and credit cards on this channel. And in today's video, we are going to talk about Hindu Undivided Family. I am going to share all the details about HUF, how I created my HUF, and what are the tax benefits that it can generate for you. I'm also a partner at a firm called Holistic Prime Wealth, wherein we help people like you manage their investments, plan and file their taxes, plan estate, write their will, take care of insurances, take care of credit card planning, and a lot more. So if you are somebody who's looking for such comprehensive services, please do reach out to me. Start with understanding the structure of the HUF, then who can create an HUF, how to create an HUF, what are the tax benefits available, and a lot more. So stay tuned, watch the video till the end and take lots of notes. Alright, let's start. So firstly, we'll understand what exactly does an HUF mean. HUF simply means Hindu Undivided Family. Basically, the concept has evolved from joint families in the past, wherein family would live jointly and want to own assets collectively. So to protect the joint ownership of these assets, HUF as a structure was created. So HUF is basically it's a separate legal entity which is recognized by the law. For example, a private limited company is a separate legal entity. Same way, a partnership firm is also a separate legal entity. Publicly listed companies are also separate legal entities. In the same manner, HUF is also a separate legal entity which will have its own PAN number and its own bank account. The next is who can create an HUF. As the name suggests, Hindu Undivided Family, it can only be created by Hindus. Now, this does not mean that Jains, Sikhs, or Buddhists cannot create an HUF. They can also create an HUF. HUF creation is only possible when you get married. Earlier, the law would suggest that you also had to have your child, after which only you could create an HUF. But now that rule has gone away, after you are married, you can set up your own HUF. How to set up an HUF, we will understand in a little bit later in the video. Before that, let us understand the structure of the HUF. Basically, let us understand who are the core members of the HUF and what are the key terms that are used in the HUF. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and ask, and I will try to answer to the best of my capacity. What are the different components of HUF, right? Like I said, you can create an HUF after you are married. So once I got married, I was eligible to create the HUF. The HUF creation date will be the date of my marriage. And once I have created the HUF, all my children and my grandchildren will be a part of this HUF. So there are three core components of an HUF. One is called the Karta, second is called the member, and third is called the co-parsoner. So Karta is the person who creates the HUF. In my case, I am the Karta of my HUF, and my HUF will be called Niraj Dugar HUF. Next is who are the co-parsoners of my HUF. So my children will become the co-parsoners of my HUF. Basically, the members who are born into the family of the HUF become the co-parsoners, and these members have the right to ownership in the property of the HUF. And then there is somebody called member, right? In case of an HUF, the member is basically the spouse of the Karta, which is my wife, right? So my wife is the member of the HUF. My wife cannot demand a share in the assets of the HUF. The share in the assets of the HUF only lie with the co-parsoners of the HUF. So I hope this makes it clear. I'll also try to share something on the screen for you so that you can pause and understand this a little bit better. The first step to forming an HUF is to obtain your PAN card, and to obtain your PAN card, all you need to do is send a few documents to the income tax department. You have to create an affidavit. Formats are easily available online. If you need a link to a format, comment and ask, and I will share a link with you. Then once you have created that affidavit, you have to attach your marriage certificate and a PAN application and send it to the income tax department, and your HUF will get created in a week or 10 days, and they will send you your PAN card to your registered address. Once that is done, then you make an application for opening of a bank account, and it is like opening any other bank account, wherein they will take your address proof, your PAN card details and other stuff, and open your bank account, and the process is very, very simple. So that's how I created my HUF, and the whole process took approximately 15 to 20 days at the maximum. Now let us understand how to save taxes and how to structure the HUF, how to use the HUF properly. Most people, what they do is they think that by transferring money from your own pocket to the HUF, you can save taxes by making investments from the HUF. But trust me guys, that's not how it works. Clubbing rules will apply. So say for example, you as a Karta, if you are a salaried member and you are earning a salary and you transfer your income to the HUF and then make an FD there, the clubbing provisions will apply and the interest income of the FD will be clubbed in your income and you have to pay tax at your maximum marginal rate. So this is not how you should be using your HUF. So let me first help you understand how can you fund your HUF so that you can make investments from there and also build assets there. There are 4 different ways of doing it. The first way is by creating a will. So say for example your dad created an HUF, right? So he can create a will and he can say that once he is no longer there, the property that he owns will pass to the HUF. So say your father owns real estate and that real estate is a rent yielding real estate, then that real estate will get passed on to the HUF and then whatever rental income the HUF earns is the right of the HUF only, and then the HUF can invest that and pay taxes on its own merit without having the clubbing rules apply. So that is one way of funding the HUF, which is through a will. The second way of funding the HUF is by gifting assets to the HUF. Now when you gift asset, it can be by family or outsiders, but remember gifting rules and gift taxation rules will apply. So like I said, if you personally transfer your money to HUF as a gift, clubbing rules will apply. So it has to be somebody unrelated who is transferring funds to the HUF as a gift. In that case, the clubbing rules will not apply because you will recognize that gift as an income in the books of HUF and pay taxes on it, right? So be aware about it. I also created another video wherein we spoke about the whole concept of gifting in detail. I will share the link to that here. You can take a look at that. The third method of doing it is by lending money to the HUF. So say for example, you as a Karta can give a loan to the HUF at a interest rate, but whatever interest that the HUF pays to you will be taxable in your hand. So this is probably not a very tax efficient way of doing it. And the last and the best way of funding an HUF is by running a business. So you can create any business, right? Say for example, you have a side hustle. You can start doing that side hustle in the HUF, but be mindful of the fact that you cannot do any service from HUF. Say for example, you are in the business of taking tuitions, right? If it is a service which is given by only one person, then it would be constituted as a business because HUF is not an individual, it is an entity. So services which are generally provided by an individual cannot be passed on into the HUF as an income. But say for example, you can create a business wherein HUF is in the business of providing services of say cleaning buildings. So in those cases you will have a set of employees also, right? So it will have income, it will have expenses. So that is a business that can be considered in the HUF. You can create a trading business, right, wherein you buy and sell stuff. You can create a manufacturing business in the HUF. So be mindful of the fact that not all businesses will be considered in the HUF. So talk to your CA about it. Like I said, HUF cannot earn a salary or offer any sort of personal services, but it can do all the other 4 things to fund the HUF. And once you have funded the HUF, you can do whatever you want with the funds in the HUF. You can basically own assets like a land, property, shares. You can invest in mutual funds. You can do trading from there. You can do a lot more. So we'll talk about all these benefits later in the video wherein I discuss the tax saving benefits with you. So tax saving basically becomes the major benefit of forming an HUF, and this is why I also formed my HUF. Now with the fact that 8.75 lakh families, HUF families claimed a total tax deduction of 3,800 crores in the financial year 2023. So now let us understand the different tax saving benefits that are available in the HUF. I hope you have understood the fact how to fund the HUF. Once you have understood that, then the rest of the provisions that are largely applicable to an individual are also applicable to an HUF as far as taxation is concerned. So you will get your basic tax exemption limit of 4 lakh rupees under the new tax regime and 1.5 lakh rupees under the old tax regime. You will get your basic ATC deductions that are applicable to you as a personal, as an individual also, right? So the 1.5 lakh rupees limit wherein you can take a deduction for insurance premiums, ELSS investments, PPF investments, and a lot more, right? So HUF can also create a public provident fund account and can invest in a PPF account. You can also get section 80D deductions for health insurance premiums paid by the HUF for its members. And lastly and most importantly, HUF can also be created for taking long-term capital gains deduction. So to enjoy this benefit, guys, I have recently opened my HUF account to invest in stocks through a portal called Dhan. While I don't generally invest in a lot of stocks and 90+% of my portfolio is in mutual funds, sometimes I take an opportunity if it's a juicy opportunity, and that's why I opened my account with Dhan, which is completely online. The whole process is very, very simple, guys. All you have to do is open the Dhan account. I'm sharing the link in the description box below. Once you've opened the website, you have to enter your mobile number and email address. Once you've entered that, you will have to enter an OTP, and then the whole process starts. First, you have to upload the PAN of the HUF, then you have to upload your personal PAN, which is the PAN of the Karta, and then next step would be the verification through Aadhaar OTP. Once all of this is done, you will be signing an agreement with Dhan for opening the account, and then they will also do a video recording, video validation of you, wherein you will get onto a video and make a recording and present yourself as the Karta. Once all of this is done, you submit an application to Dhan, and within 2 hours your account will be open, and my account was also seamlessly opened by Dhan. So if you really interested to start using HUF for tax benefits, especially for long-term investing, you should definitely use Dhan. So the benefits of long-term capital gains tax is that every year 1.25 lakh rupees exemption is available for tax savings. So say for example you bought a stock and now that stock is in the long-term capital gains bracket, you can book profits up to 1.25 lakh rupees every year and not pay taxes. The same thing can be done with mutual funds as well. So this makes having an account with Dhan or investing in mutual funds a very good proposition for everybody. The best thing about opening an account online with Dhan is that the whole process is online. You don't really have to go anywhere to do it, and that's how I did it myself. Now let us move on and understand other things about HUF. You may be thinking I am only been talking about the upsides of opening an HUF. What are the downsides of opening an HUF? The number one downside is legal complications with respect to partition. A co-parsoner can always ask a partition of the assets of the HUF, and then you have to definitely give them their share of the assets, and all of this could become a messy procedure and it could lead to legal complexities as well. Secondly, closing an HUF is a messy procedure with many logistical challenges. You have to receive an NOC from the income tax office to dissolve it, and that becomes a challenge as well. And lastly, paperwork will also increase for you, obviously, because you will have to file a separate tax return. So open an HUF account if you can fund it through the 4 ways that we discussed in the video earlier. First is through the will. Second is by setting up a business in it. Third is by getting gifts in it. And lastly, which is the least lucrative way, is by taking a loan from a family member. So folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, and let me know with what kind of videos you want me to create in the future as well. Thank you for watching.